Hey guys, Dan here, Battlefield Curator. I just picked up a Vz.50 from Classic Firearms. I've seen a lot of Vz.70s and Vz.50s, or sometimes known as Cz.50s and Cz.70s. I just couldn't figure out which one I wanted first. Do I want a Vz.50 or do I want a Vz.70? The Vz.70 is a little bit more upgraded. It's got better grips, and there's a slight few modifications to it. But I decided to get a Vz.50, so let's take a look at it and see what we got. All right, and this is just pretty much how I got it from my FFL. Vz.50 cal, made in Czechoslovakia. Now you do see the CZ logo here, and you see 7.65, 7.65. It's 7.65 Browning or 32 ACP. Essentially, you're looking at CZ model 50 caliber 7.65, made in Czechoslovakia. Now some of the older CZ50s they'll have made at some factories. Now the importer also put the import mark here and the serial number extra here. There's a proof right here. It's kind of like a fancy N. And you see another proof up here, and you'll see 68. So this one was probably produced in 1968. On the other side here, you'll see that the grips, which are CZ70 grips, have the CZ logo. The hammer is also a CZ70 hammer. You'll see serial numbers here, and then this is a actual Vz.50 takedown push. So you would push this down and you take the magazine out, you pull the hammer back, you push this button down here, and you pull back on this to take the slide off, and that's how you get inside. Magazine, this is a Vz.70 magazine here. You can fit 8 rounds in here. You'll also notice that the Vz.70 grips have this nice indent here, so you can fit the web of your hand right in there, just like that. So you can get a better grip on it. It is a little stiff here because of that paint. Pull your slide back like that. You have to move the magazine out, and it comes back forward. Stick the magazine back in, and your hammer's to back, and this safety lever acts as a decocker and a safety as well. It won't let, yep, safety. And you see the little purple cylinder right there? That's the loaded chamber indicator. Right now, it's not loaded. And you can see how it protrudes out now. It is loaded. Now, if we take a look at some of the internals, it doesn't really look that used. And honestly, if we look down the bore, yeah, you can see those lands and grooves quite well. From what I researched, a lot of these would have been in storage. A lot of these used by police, so maybe they shot them every so often, but even on the muzzle there, it doesn't look that worn. If we take a look at the underside of the slide, yeah, we don't really see a lot of wear either, and it looks like there's just some hammer wear here. So whatever the finish is very thick, kind of like a thick coat of something. Feels like paint. Like I said, this pistol's a little rough, it's a little stiff. I think it's mainly because of this paint or finish they applied. So I'm gonna give it some oil. If you were to look down the sights here, that's what your sight picture is going to look like. And if you enjoy this kind of content, be sure to pulverize that like button and subscribe for the algorithms. Really helps out with the channel. Also, check out the merchandise link in the description. Pick yourself up a Battlefield Curator t-shirt, hoodie, or jacket. BattlefieldCuratorStore.com. All right, the first type of ammo I'm going to test out is the PPU FMJ 71 grain 32 ACP. We got a malfunction. Another malfunction here. Not bad at all. Smells pretty good. Next up, I got some Hornady Critical Defense 32 Auto 60 grain FTX Willet Feed. Got a jam. All right, if you notice, I had some malfunctions at the range. With Full Metal Jacket, I had one malfunction out of about 50 rounds. And the Hornady Critical Defense, I had about a stoppage every magazine, except for the last magazine. Out of 25 rounds, I had about 5 malfunctions. Now, there's 2 other issues I came across. Sometimes the trigger would not reset after firing a round. Another thing is, after I decocked it, sometimes the trigger would not reset and you could pull it all the way back, but nothing would happen. And then when you let it forward, it would click, something would click, and then you could fire it off of that double action. So overall, this pistol, this specific one that I got, I would not want to carry it at all because of how many malfunctions that I had with it. But if you were to find one out there that had, say, 0 malfunctions out of hundreds of rounds of testing, especially with soft point or Hornady Critical Defense, then it could be a considerable option for carry. Another thing here is that these pistols were known to have some significant issues after production. Most of them were issued to the police in Czechoslovakia, and some others were sold off commercially. All right, Dan from the future here. I noticed that the pistol was really gummy, so what I did was I took it back to the house. I used mineral spirits to clean some of the gunk out of it, and even then it was still kind of gunky, so then I started using some carburetor cleaner. I regret doing that because some of the black paint was actually coming off because of that. So I only used a very subtle amount of that carburetor cleaner. Fortunately, I caught it in time and didn't douse the whole thing in it. So yeah, some of the finish came off, but it's not noticeable at all because I started on the interior of it. But it does seem a lot smoother now, and I've oiled it up and used Ballistol. So let's try shooting it again and see if we get any malfunctions. We tried some PPU, and now we're going to try some Critical Defense, see if that does anything. Yep, so we got another malfunction yet again. That was on the last round too. Let's try another 5 rounds and see what it does. Looks like it's working a little bit better. I can definitely feel that the action's a lot smoother now. Let's try 8 rounds loaded in here and see what it does. All right, so it still has that kind of problem where you would want to put it on double action and it doesn't actually go with the first trigger pull. Trigger did not reset here. We got another jam right there. Look at that. Jammed again. All right, got some more PPU in here after we fired the critical defense. Let's see if it jams. So what I've come to conclude is that it just doesn't really like the critical defense ammo here. There might be some other soft points out there that we could try later on, but right now, for a personal defense weapon, this with critical defense I would not use. Right now, I think this would make a great plinkster if you just want to go to the range and fire off some 32 ACP. But if you guys got one of these and you got some really solid soft points for them, let me know in the comment section what you got and how well it actually performs. Here we are in 2025 with the Vz.50 from Classic Firearms. Didn't think I was going to get a Vz.50 upgraded to 70 somewhat. These pistols have been on the surplus market for forever and right around 280, in total about 310. This is what we're looking at for this pistol. Is it worth it here in 2025? And as always, be sure to learn history and curate history. Pulverize the like button. Subscribe if you haven't. Check out the Battlefield Curator store. Link in the description. Thanks and make it a great day.